This is Frog Valley Farm, and I was just gonna do an update on our biological potting soils. A couple weeks ago I planted some seeds, some cacao seeds, and some Plenia inflatus seeds, the giant mulchy, and I did some in pure compost, and then I did the others in pure zebu manure. This is biodynamically grown zebus, cattles, and this is what it looks like. It's picked up from the field after it's completely dried out, and is about probably 7 months to a year old. And then I soak it in water overnight and then crumble it up, and it makes this incredible potting soil that obviously everything grows in. And the little cacao trees are starting to come up. They still have their seeds attached, and all this other stuff is coming up. I might trim it back, because really all I want is the cacao and there's a cacao. That's in compost. So the compost cacao is the biggest. Interesting. I want to use the compost on our orchard floor. So having access to the raw zebu manure to grow tropical fruit tree seeds in, and now cuttings, which really just amazes me. I have longed for a way to propagate our fruiting rare trees in a biological manner so that they grow fast here by just putting them in the ground as small young trees. And these are just cuttings. This is a cutting of an achacha. This is a cutting of an achacha. And this was completely bent over, and it slowly has lifted itself up. And that's a sign that the carbon pump that it is working, meaning it's pumping carbon from the air into the soil and into the pot in this case, and growing roots. Pumps the carbon through its roots. And this one's got leaves that are growing, and the juicy pearl that obviously is making it. This is another juicy pearl. This is in pure zebu manure, cuttings done in pure zebu manure. How we made people forget that cow manure is what plants should be grown in is pretty frightening to me. And now the cow manure that they use all this GMO corn on, glyphosate hay, all the other stuff, pesticides to cure them of worms, growth hormone, doesn't make a potting soil that contains the enzymes needed to grow cuttings, high value cuttings, directly in it. It's the enzymes, I believe, that's the most important part in this process, and somehow nobody's ever talked about it that I know of. And it's kind of strange, because I know all you plant freaks like to grow stuff in pots, and an air layered achacha or an air layered charichuelo or a air layered MB, basically not air layer but cutting, sorry. Same difference, it was not gonna send down a huge taproot. So if you do cuttings, it probably would work really good in a pot, a root pruning pot. And this way I can just take fruiting trees that I have and mass produce them everywhere, and probably not have to water them because they were started correctly in the enzyme rich zebu manure, so that they know how to cycle nutrients right from the start, and they weren't sidetracked with chemicals. Anyway, I just wanted to do an update on these biological soils. The compost, the biodynamic compost was the best thing I ever found for growing tropical fruit trees from seed, and I never bothered to do cuttings in it. But the zebu manure is plentiful, and it works. And I did these achacha trees from the green part with new growth. It had new leaves on it, or the newish leaves. It was sending out new growth. And same with the juicy pearl. That's a new leaf. The Inga seedling I did, it seems like there's leaf buds in there, and it looks okay, but I think I shouldn't have done the new growth on the Inga. I should have used more woody material. But the new growth works on the Achacha, and it worked on the juicy pearl, and oh, there's an Inga. It worked on this, so maybe they're coming along. I was just so excited by the Achacha and the juicy pearl that I kind of ignored the Inga spectabilis and the Inga fuilii. But anyway, how did we forget to grow using cow manure, and why did we poison our cows? So sad. And hopefully this will help change that and open people's eyes to healthy growing for Florida. Thank you.